Mets lose 2-1 to the Miami Marlins, and this game was definitely just a frustrating one, from the bats just not performing well to a little bit of hiccups here and there too defensively. Pete Alonso bobbling a bunt ball there. You got Starling Marte dropping balls in center field. Jeff McNeil having to come up and make a huge throw here and there, but just couldn't grind out at bats well enough. Simple as that. And to only get 4 hits against Jesus Luzardo is just absolutely pathetic, and you need to be better. You just simply need to be better than that going forward. And I'm not going to panic, obviously, because it's 2 games in, but I'm a little concerned, because this was one of my concerns going into the season, was the Mets offense, that is. So we got to hope that they could move by and turn the page here quickly. But this was just an upsetting game. This was just a frustrating game. And this was just definitely one that they had. They had in the palm of their hands. Couldn't get a timely hit, too. You had bases loaded at one point. Pete Alonso at the dish. Couldn't come up with the timely hit. And it just came down to that. Came down to them just not coming up with a timely hit. But before we jump further into the recap, leave a like if you do enjoy this video. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. We're going to cover them throughout the season as much as we can here. And turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. But let's talk about this game. And first inning starts off with the Mets going down in order, 1, 2, 3. There was a play that was challenged out. It looked like Brandon Nimmo may have beaten out the throw there on what could have been a single. But unfortunately, they challenged it, and he ended up being out either way. So the call stands. The Mets lose their challenge on the first at-bat of the game. And it took them 10 minutes just to get to the second at-bat of the game as well. Bottom of the first, Peterson got into some trouble, but thankfully got out of it as he walks Arias, and then he forces a double play. Garrett Cooper then would get a triple, though, and then Jazz Chisholm ends up getting a ground out. And that triple, though, I think that was the ball that Marte dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You got to simply be better than that. I don't know how that's even a triple. That should have been an error all the way on Starling Marte. I'm sorry, but that's an error. That's an error. And that was just embarrassing defense there. And then the Mets in the top of the second, how do they respond? They don't. They end up going down in order. Bottom of the second, Jorge Soler hits a leadoff home run to make it 1-0 Miami. And they cut back from commercial, and it was just a home run. So couldn't even really see the pitch there. It was 1-0 though, Miami. Then Peterson gets a ground out, allows back-to-back singles. Thankfully works out of the gym though and gets a strikeout and a ground out. Third inning, Escobar with a pop out. Pham with a ground out. Nito strikes out. We go to the bottom of the third. Peterson picks up 2 strikeouts, allows a single to Garrett Cooper, and then forces Soler to line out. So thankfully doesn't really get into a lot of trouble. Nimmo then grounds out to lead off the 4th inning. Marte gets himself a single, tries to steal, ends up getting caught there. Again, I wanted to see Starling Marte steal more bases, and I love the idea of him stealing more bases. So I'm not going to complain if he gets caught because, well, again, I want to see more of it. I want to see aggressive base running this year. It would be nice. Lindor then walks, and then Pete Alonso grounds out to end the inning. Marlins then in the 4th inning go down in order, so Peterson has himself a good inning. 5th inning, Canna draws a walk, but unfortunately McNeil hits into a double play, and then Escobar ends up striking out. Bottom of the 5th, back-to-back singles there as Birdie gets one, and then Arias does. I think that was the bunt there by Arias, if I'm not mistaken, where Pete Alonso just made a bad play. And then Peterson gets out of the inning as he gets a strikeout, allows a single to Garrett Cooper, but thankfully, Jeff McNeil ends up making a big play to get the second out there at the plate. Nice little grab there, nice little throw there. Very happy defense there from Jeff McNeil, and then a ground out there for Jazz Chisholm. 6th inning, Mets get a little bit going. They get back-to-back outs, but then Nimmo walks. Marte gets a single. Marte then gets a stolen base as well, so nice to see Marte steal. Then Francisco Lindor walks. Marlins make a pitching change, and Pete Alonso lines out again. Not a good scenario there. You need a timely hit there from Pete Alonso, and he didn't give you a timely hit. Peterson's night came to an end, though, and then Tommy Hunter came in. He allows a single, but then cruises through the next 2 innings, getting all 6 outs. Very happy with Tommy Hunter's performance, and you know what? He had a great spring, earned his way onto the roster. I'm happy with what we're seeing from him. So, good for him. Mets go down in order then in the 7th inning. Top of the 8th comes around. A lot of maneuvering here as Guillorme comes in. The pitch hit for Pham. He grounds out. Vogelback comes in, gets a nice double, too. How about him putting the wheels on yet again in back-to-back nights? LeCasher came in the run for him, and then the Mets go down back-to-back in order there. And then, unfortunately, the bottom of the 8th, John Curtis comes into the game. I would have liked to have seen Adam Ottavino in the spot, so then David Robertson could have came in after that, or you maybe go to Raley. I understand if you don't want to use Robertson and Raley back-to-back days already, but come on. There's going to be a point in the season you're going to have to use them back-to-back, so come on. Let's go. And yeah, Jazz Chisholm hits a home run as Curtis hangs a pitch right over the plate, and thankfully he gets the rest of the outs, but 2-0. And then Lindor strikes out to lead off the inning as Puck came in for the save, by the way. And Pete Alonso cranks the first home run for the Mets this season. Good for him, I guess, but would have liked that when the bases were juiced. So, a little bit of unclutched hitting there for Pete Alonso. But again, he can get the bat going. That's what we need. So, maybe that's something that helps him turn the page. I'm trying to look at positives here, but the Mets go down in order after, and they end up losing this game. And there was 4 hits for the Mets in this one, 10 for the Marlins. Just not good enough. No errors on either side. Not good enough at all. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. 5 left on. You didn't get enough runners on base. It's just that simple. When it comes to the pitching side of things, I thought Peterson had an okay outing, picking up 5 strikeouts, only allowing 1 run, allowed 8 hits. So he had some trouble, but you know what? He found his way out of some trouble at times, and he didn't pitch awful. There's a reason on the depth chart he's the 6th guy to get the call on the mound. So you don't expect much, but he gave you some solid 5 innings. And I'm not going to complain with what you got from David Peterson. To get away with him only giving up 1 run, I could live with it. I could live with it. Tommy Hunter only allowing a hit, and then out of that being perfect in this 2 innings of work. Love what we saw from Tommy Hunter. Great. John Curtis, not so much. Need to make a better pitch there, and he unfortunately didn't. Mets pitchers only combined for 5 strikeouts as Peterson had them all. They combined for 1 walk, Peterson with the 1 walk, and then of course 2 earned runs, and yeah, 2 home runs as well. The lineup though was really the story. Not good enough at all. A lot of 0-4s today. Brandon Nimmo, 0-4. And I was hyping him up, being like, oh, he didn't need spring training, huh? Not good today. Marte went 2 for 4, though. He actually had himself a good day at the office. Stole a base as well. Loved what we got from Starling Marte outside of that drop ball. But you know what? The Marlins didn't score, so I'll give him a bit of a pass there. But even though it's a routine fly ball, like, come on, dude. You got to catch it. Lindor went 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. I'd like for him to make some contact and get on base a bit here with a hit. That would be nice, but fortunately not. Pete Alonso, congrats on the home run, but you got to start to make some timely hits here, dude. You gotta wake up. Cano went 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Not good enough from Mark Canha in the 5th spot as your DH. McNeil went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Not good enough. Eduardo Escobar 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Not good enough. Tommy Pham 0 for 2. Not good enough. Yorme 0 for 1. Nito 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Vogelback 1 for 1, thankfully. And that was it from the lineup. Way too many 0-4s. They need the timely hits. They need to start hitting the ball. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it's early. But at some point, something's got to change, especially when you're facing a Jesus Luzardo who has not had the best major league career. He just hasn't. So you got to be better than that offensively. I'm sorry, but you have to. But tomorrow, Tyler Miguel on the bump when it should have been Justin Verlander. Going to be interesting to see how he goes. Going to be interesting to see if the Mets offense can come alive. But let's hope. Let's hope. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video or go live next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Mets.